So why am I drinking water here? Okay, and why, it's one of the things that I've noticed about being out of Texas for the first time in a long time. The tap water is drinkable. Now, let's talk about this. Okay, so I live in a rural community outside of San Antonio. The tap water is disgusting. Okay, and the water quality report versus what independent studies say about this tap water are two very different things. Okay, if you go out and have this tap water in our rural community in Texas analyzed, you quickly realize that something is off. Just by turning on the tap, smelling it, tasting it, you know something isn't right. In fact, back home, we either buy bottled water or we filter the water completely. It's totally normal to do that. And being out here in Las Vegas, you would think that it's a large city. There's a lot of issues, right? Good, bad, ugly, and different. But one thing I can say, the tap water is drinkable. And you don't feel unsafe drinking it. Now, I know that there's going to be a lot of people tell me, well, if you like it so much, go out there and live. I certainly will, because, if this is the case, and this is what Texans are, I'm not sure I want to be a part of it. Okay? Because, first off, there's the reality of Texas, and then there's the myth of Texas. They're two very, very different things. And just like out here in Nevada, there's the myth and there's the reality. The myth is probably what you see down on the strip, right? That's pretty isolated. I've had the chance to get out and talk with locals here in Las Vegas who absolutely love living here. The quality of life is good. I've talked to some police officers. I've had good interactions with different people around here. It's very different than what we see back in Texas. I'll tell you this. On the drive up here, we counted over 60 police officers driving through Texas. Across 3 states, New Mexico, Arizona, and Nevada, we saw 3. Now, what does that tell you? But I'm not here to talk about that today. I'm here to talk about the water. My question is, what else are they hiding from us back home in Texas? What are they doing to us? What are they keeping secret from us? I think there's a lot of truths that need to be discussed. Now, I'm not saying that water quality in every part of Texas is horrible, because it's not. Some places, the tap water quality is good. But in other places, it's not so good. Now, when you're looking at the water quality report, they say things like agriculture runoff, mining and drilling, things like that, all contribute to this issue. And that's true. We have a lot of old infrastructure, old pipes that still haven't been replaced. A lot of them are made from cast iron. This tells us that we have problems in our state's infrastructure that needs to be dealt with. And the current leadership of Texas isn't dealing with it. From the municipal level to the state level. And they sit there and tell us all kinds of lies about how they're dealing with this. And they're not. Now, you know me, I'm a pretty practical guy, and I love Texas as much as anyone. But I think it's time that we start calling a spade a spade. We start calling things for what they are, because it's really different. Now, I'm not a gambler, but take gambling for instance, right? My wife and I think we spent $60 gambling out here in Vegas over the past week, okay? It's not a lot. Okay, we don't spend a lot of money gambling. But I do think there's some good things about places like Nevada and California that we can learn from. Maybe we should start looking at these good things that they have and how we as Texans can improve on them instead of just focusing on the negative things that they do. Casino gambling, for one, brings a lot of tax revenue into Las Vegas and into the city or the state of Nevada. In Texas, we're pretty much limited as far as what that goes. We, the people, are taxed the hell out of, directly and indirectly. But if we could create something, the good things with gambling and with the lifestyle, and have more freedom instead of restriction, we could open up the doors to potentially fix things like bad tasting tap water. Now, this current crop of lawmakers will say that they're doing all sorts of things, that there's federal reasons why they can't do this. We can't accept that as an excuse anymore. We cannot do it. We need to call them out as liars, because that's exactly what they are. Every single one of them are liars. And what they're doing is they're telling us one thing, but the proof is completely something different. The Railroad Commission, the governor, the lieutenant governor especially, who seems to not be able to keep his mouth shut, and all these other henchmen, Democrat and Republican, are just simply selling Texans a bill of goods while we drink bad tap water. So I guess my argument is that Texas either needs to or get off the pot, okay, as we say. We need to think a little bit more outside the box and quit thinking so conservatively. Quit being beholden to the evangelical alt-right. They're nobodies, and they're dragging our state down. Now, you can sit there and call me anything you want. You can sit there and say that I'm an atheist, all this other stuff. I'm not. I'm a freedomist. You see, I believe that Christianity gives you a choice. You can choose to partake in these things if you want to. I don't need to be forced by regulation and restriction to follow a book. That's the reality of this. And that's what these quacks back in Texas don't quite understand. And the reason I'm wearing a blue shirt is actually to signify something. These bunch of want to bring back things called blue laws. Do you want to be able to buy a mop on Sunday? God forbid you spill something. You see, and that's the problem with Texas. We have a serious issue in Texas. And that serious issue comes back to more than just tap water. It comes back to the way that we think, the way that we do. The people we vote for, the mentality that we have. Just being told that things are safe and that things are good isn't enough. We need to go further. And we need to hold our state lawmakers and our state law enforcement official. And we need to start holding them accountable. We need to start making sure that these people are doing the right thing. Freedom versus restriction. Freedom brings you a lot of prosperity. Restriction eventually holds you back. And that's not good. They can build a hotel and casino here in Las Vegas rather quickly. They just destroyed the old Tropicana Hotel to make way for a baseball stadium for the Oakland Athletics to relocate here. In just a couple of years, they'll have a new baseball stadium built and ready to go. Back in Texas, we'll have a lot of bureaucracy holding that up. There'll have to be conversations and bidding process and all this other things that we have to go through. Issue a damn permit and start building. So that's my take. It's more than just about drinking water. It's about sense and sensibility in our beloved Lone Star State. I'm Matt. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.